Welcome, beautiful souls, to today's conversation. I'm joined by my dear friend and sacred intimacy coach, Tamara Carter. Welcome, Tamara. Again, we just realized that the last time we actually recorded together was a year ago today when we did the Sacred Yoni podcast. And with the energies as they are right now, the full moon in Aquarius, Lion's Gate having opened up, um, it's a magical time to explore a topic with Tamara again. And our conversations are always so enriching and enlightening for me that I thought the timing was perfect to do a collab with her. And together we're exploring the energy of love today, not just romantic love, but the vibration of love that flows through our daily lives, our relationships, and our own hearts. Love is the theme that keeps rising in the collective consciousness. People are searching for it, questioning it, healing from it, and longing to embody it more deeply. So today is going to be a little bit of a different reading. I'm going to be pulling the cards as I channel to see what messages the universe and our guides want to bring forward about the energy of love right now. And this could be anything from deep soul connections, anxious avoidant attachments, twin flame, if that resonates for you, healing through heartbreak. We'll just see what the cards have to say and what they come through with. And after each card pull, Tam will then share her wisdom and her reflections, weaving intimacy coaching with the spiritual insights of the tarot. And our intention is to create a dialogue that helps you feel seen, inspired, and empowered in your own journey with love. Tam, anything to add to that before we start?
Thank you for being here again. I love the conversations you and I have, and love is my favorite topic. It is everything.
It is everything. It is everything. I was talking to someone today that it was actually someone at a business meeting, and he was saying how lonely entrepreneurship is and how our basic human condition is the need for connection and for love. So
it is the force by which we all function from, and the one we yearn for more than anything.
exactly. Okay, so I'm going to pull the cards and see what comes through, and then Tam and I are going to be having a dialogue. This is for both the divine masculine and feminine energy. And again, you don't have to be a male or female embodiment to take insight from divine masculine and feminine energy. We all embody both. So if we do talk about divine masculine and divine feminine, just a note that it's not specific to male or female. Okay, Spirit, please come into this reading. Please bless this reading. Make this your message. And your message only messages of love, light, and guidance. Negative energy must leave the space now. Inviting in the divine light of God, ancestors, angels into this reading and into this conversation. For love, Spirit, please and thank you. Messages of love. What do we need to know right now? What are the strongest messages coming through right now? Oh. So there is a need here, or there is a seeking that we see here for emotional fulfillment or wish fulfillment, of calling in a person that can bring in a sense of safety, stability, security, but also a sense of emotional peace and happiness. But what I'm also getting and what they're saying is that that inner peace and emotional fulfillment starts within us first before we can seek it on the outside. So, whatever we are feeling, whatever our nervous system is responding to when it comes to emotional safety, is what is going to be attracted. And this doesn't, again, have to be romantic. It can be friendships, it can be family. So, emotionally, that's what's coming through. There is a very strong need, card of Taurus, and it's King energy, King of Pentacles, which is a very grounded energy. It is a masculine energy, and it is about stability and security in the physical world, and how important that is for the energy of love to feel safe. As a divine masculine energy, this energy is earthly, so it holds space, and that is the container that needs to feel safe enough for love to land in. It needs to feel secure enough and consistent in the way that it shows up. And that's what this card is. Major arcana here, big energy, card of Pisces, the hangman, is an energy of taking a time out for yourself. If you've been feeling like you've been stuck in loops or patterns with specific relationships, repeated triggers or responses to relationship, there's a need to take a time out, to trust your own intuition, and to look at things from a different perspective. It's almost as if you're looking at yourself in a mirror, but from another person's perspective. And that is what is needed now. In fact, Tam and I were just having a conversation about how we've been seeing these things in ourselves and reflecting on past relationships and how we've responded to that from our place of awareness or perspective. So, Tam, what do you make of that?
Besides the fact that you pulled up Taurus, which is my favorite.
I know. I was like, Taurus, you attract Taurians like me.
Yes, I do. I find it incredibly powerful and incredibly beautiful with what you and I've actually just been speaking about this morning. You know, the way I perceive things is my own being, my own vessel is I am a resonance chamber. So everything in my world is me. So the fact that taking some time for ourselves, being grounded in ourselves is probably the most important place we can actually start at. Because everything we are experiencing in this reality is a version of us that we are experiencing. So to be able to take accountability for our own resonance in this reality is the first and foremost step that we have to take. So what I mean by that is that being this vessel, we speak about masculine and feminine energy. So we hold both energies within us, masculine and feminine energies within us. And like everything in life, it is about the balance between the two energies. So a lot of the time, what we are yearning for and searching for outside of us is something that we are yearning and searching for within us. So what I find so beautiful with that is what we yearn and search for outside of us is often brought to us so that we can integrate that within ourselves. There are a lot of theories and philosophies at the moment that you cannot meet your soulmate or be with your soulmate if you are not whole. I don't necessarily agree with that, because every single person that walks into our lives is here to give us a piece of us, to activate us. So when you start looking at life that way, and you start looking at love that way, it actually changes the whole concept. The thing I love about love the most and meeting people is we are not separate to anybody. So when you meet somebody, if you can actually have that experience of putting that being inside of your own being, where two hearts merge, what starts happening in that place is you can actually start, that love inside of you starts showing you the places inside of you where you are in a space of need and expecting somebody else to fill that space for you. And life is perfectly designed for exactly that. When we are in a space of need, we are given somebody who shows us what it is we need to work on within ourselves. So that is why I find love to be one of the greatest forces on this planet, because it is everything. Every single human being yearns to meet their soulmate. Every single person yearns to feel whole, to feel complete. And love is the way that we get to discover ourselves and just start resonating more and more on a frequency that we are whole within ourselves as we are. And that wholeness is what we get to share with people around us. So every single relationship, every single person you meet, every time you fall in love, it is just bringing us more and more home to ourselves.
Exactly.
And being grounded in that, being grounded in just knowing that this is all, it's all bringing you home to you, and more love and more resonance and more you have to gift this world with.
And as you say that, at the bottom of the deck is the Four of Swords, which is a card of healing. And what I'm finding a lot lately with my clients, Tam, you can share also what you're finding, if this is the same themes that are coming up, but it is about coming back home to self. This is a card about coming back home to self. It's about laying the swords down, not fighting, not trying to force anything, but allowing the process and integrating it into self, so that we start attracting the kind of love that we wish for.
What I love about that card, about the healing part,
Yeah,
is that we have so many different labels to things like anxious attachment,
I know.
avoidance, narcissists. We've got all of these labels. So, and the word healing and coming home to yourself is like, one of the greatest questions we can ask ourselves is, why have we brought that energy into, yes, that energy into our reality? Because if what we are being given is a piece of us, then what is it about us that we actually need to see? So let's just use the anxious attachment and the avoidance. In the end, the energetic of it is pretty much the same. A lot of anxious attachers are petrified of losing love. They need love. Avoidance want as much love, but they are also petrified, so they are running in the opposite direction. So in the end, it is the same energetic. So in the end, we've got to sit down and look at ourselves and go, okay, so I want love more than anything, but what is it inside of me that is so petrified of it? And start developing this deep relationship with yourself and what belief structures you have in place about love, about yourself. So loving somebody and being loved in return is the greatest gift, to actually just start emptying out all these belief structures that we have inside of ourselves. And if we don't start looking at these things, we just keep recreating them over and over in different people until it becomes so painful that we actually do start looking. And the recreation of that energy forces us into a state of pain. And pain is beautiful medicine if we can have a look at it that way, because it opens us up to actually start looking at where we are at within ourselves.
Exactly. And you've just described this card so beautifully. Is the pain of those swords, because this usually comes after heartbreak. The Three of Swords is heartbreak card. And the pain of sitting in that stillness or being in that stillness with that pain is where the insight comes from, although it's not that easy to do.
You know, another thing with this is a lot of us sit with the fear of abandonment and rejection, and being ghosted, being rejected, being abandoned in relationships or in dating or in all of that. If we can actually just start looking at that as a gift as well, because what that means to us is that somewhere inside of us is this enormous fear of being rejected or being abandoned. And we are trying to avoid being rejected, being abandoned, being left alone, being lonely, avoiding the pain, avoiding all of that. Where if we actually just sat with it for a little while and realized how scared we are of being alone, how scared we are of being rejected, how scared we are of being abandoned, and actually just being really honest with ourselves about that, we will actually start observing our patterns and how it is we behave in life, in love, in relationships. That by being in that continual fear, that is what rules your relationship. It rules every decision you make.
Exactly.
In the relationship over and over and over again. And that fear is actually the fear that denies us the capacity to literally just live from this wholesome, nourished love and the true experience of who it is we actually are.
Tam and I were just talking about our businesses as well, and how entrepreneurship and having a business is probably the biggest mirror to self experience you could ever experience, because exactly what you were saying, the choices that you're making in love and in life, you're going to make everywhere else. It's not just in relationship, it's with everything. Okay, I want to ask, what is going on now with love energy, specifically for, I want to start with the masculine, actually, the divine masculine energy. What are the themes coming through, spirit, messages of guidance?